Michael, go ahead and fire things up. I'm going to go ahead and open the meeting and ask to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to start by asking, I'm going to remove the consideration of the Headwaters revised 2080 agreement from the agenda, so County Attorney Meyer can go through a couple of details that we have questions on. So other than that, I can ask for approval of the agenda with that amendment.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I can ask for consideration of approval of the minutes dated May 11th and May 13th, 2022 as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I have is a consideration for approval of claims for payment dated May 18th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is consideration of a liquor license, a Class C for Timber's Edge Wedding and Event Center LLC located between Ackley and Steamboat Rock.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
It's from June 20th of 22 to June 19th of 23.
And no issues out there that you know of, Jane? Thank you. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next is consideration of receipt of an animal feeding operation construction permit. This is a permit submitted for 4,999 head permit. Applicant is Summit Farms. The contact is Kent Kraus. So this isn't approving a permit to build or anything like that. This is just acknowledging receipt of the application.
Okay, I'll make a motion to acknowledge the receipt of application for the animal feeding operations construction permit.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is consideration of setting the time and date for a public hearing for the Hardin Buckeye 25, Section 25 Buckeye Township construction permit. And I talked to Jessica Sheridan, and a preferred date would be June 1st, 2022, 9:02 a.m. at the Hardin County Courthouse.
I'll make a motion to set the time and date for the public hearing on June 1st of 22 at 9:02 a.m. in the large conference room.
I will second it.
All right, I have a motion, a second. Any discussion?
Will it be Zoom available or is
It'll
this
be
gonna in
held-
person only?
It'll be held in conjunction with our regular scheduled meeting that week. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is consideration of the SBDC financial support. That's the Small Business Development Center's request for financial support.
Oh, this is what was brought up. He came and met with us last week. We had to put on the agenda. We normally give them anywhere between $2,500 and $5,000 through the local option sales tax. They do work with small businesses, help people get started. They're available if asked. I mean, I suppose they're probably trying to reach out to you, but it is a good resource.
Yep.
And I don't think it's something we want to get rid of.
At this time, I think that it's imperative to enlist those services. I think we have some positive things happening, and the fact that, you know, this is small business development, helping some people grow. So my recommendation would be $5,000 contribution from the local option sales tax funding source for funding the SBDC program.
I would agree. So I'll make a motion to approve $5,000 for the SBDC financial support.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second discussion.
That money will be coming from the lost funds for economic development.
Correct. As the referendum apportioned a few years back. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got a handful of changes of status. I'm going to start with the Secondary Roads Department. the hiring of Brayton Diedrich as a seasonal laborer effective May 23rd at $14 an hour via on-call seasonal basis.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The next I have is the hiring effective May 18th of Austin Day as a motor grader operator at a rate of $21.50 an hour with a 25 cent per hour raise after 6 months probationary period.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item I have is I'm gonna skip to the Conservation Department. I have the hiring of Josh Heffelfinger as a summer intern at a rate of $11 an hour. The note says effective May 16th, 2022, Josh will be working at Calkins for the summer.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is the hiring of Correctional Officer Michael Kreiner, effective May 20th, 2022, at a rate of $18.90 an hour.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Last item I have is the change of status for Diane Rash. She's a part-time jailer in the sheriff's office. This was a little bit of housekeeping. This was effective August 31st, 2021. It's a retirement. And I want to say this for last. Diane worked for Hardin County from August 1st, 1981 to August 31st, 2021. So quite a long tenure. And I appreciate her service, and I know she's going to enjoy retirement immensely. And our husband's excited to see her and enjoy that time. So I want to thank Diane for her service. It means a lot to the county that somebody was able to stick with such a tough career for that long. So
I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No, I'd also like to thank her for her years of service.
Same here. That is one for.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right. Michelle. Other
Hello.
business.
What's that?
Any other
Any other
business?
business?
No.
We have a deadline coming due here shortly, June 1st. Anybody that needs to apply or wants to apply, if they're 65 or older and their income is within the guideline that the state has. Don't have that number right in the top of my head, but needs to apply for that to get an extra credit. If they live in their home and they own it, they can get an extra credit depending on what their income is. That deadline is going to be June 1st. There is a new program out there. If you're 70 or older, you can apply for it if your income is below 250% of the poverty level. It's a new credit, so it's establishing your base credit for this year, and then that credit wouldn't start probably until next year. But you could still get your credit under the 65-year-old credit basis. So it's a new one. We haven't experienced it yet, so we'll see what happens. That is a credit that will come from all the taxing entities, not backfilled by the state. So the 65-year-old one is a state credit, and this new 70-year-old and newer or older, geez, go back here. That is going to be that's a state mandated credit that was given to us that all of us will have to
Absorb.
pick up the slack. Yep. So
Okay. And is that documentation available in your office or online? Where would a customer get that information?
yeah,
Michelle?
we have the applications, or they're available on the IRS's department, or we can make them available, email them,
Okay,
mail them, whatever they need, but we just want to get them in. June 1st is the deadline. However, we can extend that, but we'd like to get most of them in so that we can get them prepared for the new tax year.
okay,
And that's the big thing. if they don't make that June 1st deadline, we can accompany them and help them later. But it's smoother if we can get it in and do it before the new taxes get certified and rolled over, instead of adjusting them after they're certified.
Okay,
So,
all right. Taylor,
Our bridge did open south of New Providence. That one's good to go.
how did the ribbon cutting go?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Were you the first one to drive through?
Not this
Yeah,
one.
they'll hang a ribbon for you. You can zoom right through.
Yeah.
And the trail is knocking on the door. I mean, we're here. It's in town. It's past my office already. So, yeah,
I see.
and I mean, they've skipped places that they'll need to go back where they make it thicker, like for where vehicles go over it, but yeah. Otherwise, they're moving a lot faster than we had planned.
Good.
Yep.
Thomas,
Update, we're looking at putting the sidewalk back, putting the driveway in, and doing some additional work on that parking lot to the south of the EOC building. Worked with Taylor and Jody and Lance, and I've talked about all the options there. And there is a discussion that I've had with Daryl, and he was gonna follow through on that with the either asking Eldora to abandon that alley so that we could just go through the alley, or I think it's called a 100-year lease or something like that. So Daryl and the city attorney are working on that so that we can decide on that, but we're getting the design for the sidewalk and the requirements for that and the driveway and putting gravel up against the building. Jody's been having trouble
yeah.
trying to keep
the
that.
drainage.
Well, Jody's been having trouble trying to keep the grass and stuff there, so if we just move that gravel up against the building, then it'll all be gravel and he can just spray it to keep the weeds under control. And it's been a really, so far, it's really solid, so.
Thank you, Thomas. Attorney Meyer.
Pass.
Okay, all right. Jolene,
Absentee voting has begun today, and it's now 20 days. So it's a shorter year, you know, for a bigger election. Also, I will not be, ISAC has the auditors section June 22nd.
Okay.
So just let me know if you want to move it to Tuesday morning.
do you want to add that to the agenda for consideration next week, Jolene? And put a suggested time and stuff in? And so absentee voting, absentee ballots will be mailed out today, and in-person voting here at the courthouse starts today. And is there a Saturday vote
There
day
is.
as well, Jolene? Is it the 28th? The Saturday before.
25th. No, sorry. It is the 28th. We will be open from 7 to 3. We are
Okay.
required to be open for 8 hours. So we decided 7 to 3 so we can get maybe some people before work with the earlier hours. And then, you know, of course, the rest of it.
Has there been any requests for satellite voting locations? Nothing? Okay. Thank you, Jolene. Michelle?
Poll workers.
We are set. I think we have one ASVP that we need to fill, and that's pretty sure that we've got that filled.
Yes,
just a
Michelle.
reminder, I forgot, if you do not want to have your name in the newspaper and you haven't paid your taxes yet, you need to get on that. The deadline for that is coming like the 18th for the guaranteed date. Because they do have to prepare that document to get to the paper, so they have time to set all that, so
And tax sale date is what?
June 21st,
Okay, and I know you.
or no, June 20th, third Monday of June.
Okay. And you'd mentioned that the number of bidders may be limited. Is that still the case?
I'm going to, I've no, I can't talk this morning.
It's okay.
I have limited the number of the bidders to 50 bidder numbers per like group.
Okay, so
So-
each bundle can have up to 50.
Each group could have up to 50 bidders.
Okay,
Last year we had a surprise and we had 200 bidders that had never been here before. And that was just a huge influx in our bidder numbers. So to be able to do the right thing with dollars collected,
we've limited that so that it's an even playing field.
Okay.
Or more even playing field.
Okay. And anybody wants more information, they can call you.
Yep, and
Your
private
office?
citizens, they can register to be a bidder, but it is a $25 fee. And it's not a pick your property that you want. It's, we go take the first delinquent property and do a numbered system and pick a number, random number draw. So you
Okay.
don't get to pick and choose what you're gonna bid on. Everybody's in, and whoever gets picked gets the choice to say yes or no that they want to pay those taxes. So
Okay. Interesting. Anything else, JD? Okay. Lance?
Nope.
Renee?
Nope.
All right, I can ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We're adjourned.